Right now, there are millions of people in America suffering from musculoskeletal problems. In fact, according to recent studies, more than 57% of doctor visits in America are made because of them. Well, our next guest is muscular system expert Chris Verselli. And in addition to operating a thriving practice in Sarasota, he's taught on muscle function for years, including at the Florida College of Natural Health. He's been featured in multiple local newspapers and magazines, as well as local television stations. He is a muscle system advisor to the Pittsburgh Pirates as well. He's also the author of a new book called Improve Muscles, Improve Life. He's here now to share some insights on how to improve muscle function and how to prevent problems with your musculoskeletal system. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You've expressed this as part of your mission in life. Why is it your mission to teach others about this?
Well, Jen, it's because millions of people are suffering from these problems, and the effect that it's having on their quality of life is just horrible. These problems create, hindered lifestyles, depression, hopelessness, and they severely restrict the things that people are able to do. And most people are not aware of the fact that if their muscles are functioning properly, many of these problems can be prevented, and also many of them can be solved.
Yeah, so basically there's a problem within muscles that causes them to not function properly. There's not adequate signals being sent from the neurological system to the muscle. And the muscles have this inability to perform their functions. And when the muscles have that inability to perform those functions, normal, everyday activities can sometimes be very difficult, restrictive, or painful. Well, as I mentioned, the neurological system can sometimes not be sending adequate signals to the muscle. And when that happens, the muscles can't create proper movement, so we get like tight and restricted, which can cause a lot of discomfort in and of itself. We also have this issue that causes these imbalances within the muscle system from this neurological issue, and they kind of pull in an uneven fashion. And just like if we were to have an uneven pull, say on the car axle of our car, we'd have an uneven distribution of the weight of our car, causing a wear and tear on our tires that's a little bit excessive. We can have this in different places on our body as well. So maybe we have a lot of things pulling in one direction but not another, and the weight is not being distributed through our spine, let's say, and that can cause uneven wear and tear, which can lead to back problems. We also have this inability to be protected from these different stresses that we might encounter during normal physical activity. Maybe we're running on a tennis court, or we're swinging a golf club, or we're lifting a weight, and our muscles can't help protect us from those particular stresses, so they create some sort of a pain response telling us we need to stop. So that's what can happen when the muscles aren't functioning well, and it impedes our normal active life.
Chris, what are some of the signs of this muscle inhibition that you've been talking about?
Well, there's a lot of them. Some of them are noticeable more so with movement than anything else. Like if you go into a position and it hurts to go into that position, that's a definite sign. If you have tightness or restriction when doing certain movements, that's a sign. If you have any kind of activity or movement-induced pain, that's a big red flag. So, you'll hear from a lot of people, I'm okay until I do this. Now, through this process, we can get to the groups of muscles that are the biggest culprits in whatever's going on with the body. And it's a very simple process, actually, to get a muscle to come back to its normal function again. That's what we call muscle activation. That's why it has that name, activation. And it involves typically some direct pressure to the muscle attachment site into the bone that's done in a very special way, or a particular type of exercise that's done in a very unique position at a very low level of intensity, very unlike any other exercise somebody would get in like rehab or training.
Professional athletes are using it to get better, but it's not just for professional athletes. In fact, it isn't just for athletes at all, weekend or professional. MAT can help the quality of life for anyone in any walk of life. It is quick and it is helpful. But what exactly is it? I'll let the specialist explain.
Muscle activation techniques is a way to ensure that every muscle in the body is performing its functions as well as possible. The promise that I give to every single person that goes through this is that through this process you can become stronger, more flexible, more resistant to injury, and better able to heal and recover from any orthopedic ailment in under 60 minutes.
Struggled with back injuries for about 9 to 10 years now, and the muscle activation techniques have really helped me regain just simple abilities like playing with my kids and helping my wife around the house and things like that in ways that I couldn't do so before.
It was really tight. I've been in real bad pain. After we did the treatment, it felt like it's floating, like I'm on air.
So is this the best you've ever felt after one treatment
Yes.
of something?
The best.
And after the very first session, I could stand up without any pain whatsoever that lasted about 18 hours, and after the next 2 or 3, I was completely healed.
My back was hurting me for a couple of days. I came in here and got me stretched out 15 minutes, and now the pain's gone.
And lo and behold, within about 15 minutes, I was back up, walking again, had no pain, and I was just totally impressed by what muscle activation techniques did for me right then.
The proof is in the actual work, and a couple sessions with Chris got me all squared away. And I'm here to say that I now enjoy things that a month ago I wasn't able to enjoy.
Came across Chris, and he's been working with me now for 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm much better. My body is much more flexible, and I'm even back playing golf.
So now tell me how you're feeling in comparison to how you were when you first came in.
I'd say probably 75% better.
And he worked on me, and in one visit took care of a chronic shoulder injury that I'd been dealing with for quite a while. And I tried everything to fix this shoulder problem. Exercises, physical therapy, adjusting, and nothing helped until I went through the MAT protocol.
He started working with me, and right away I was so impressed because he went right to he was able to diagnose the core of the issue, the problem, the source of the problem, and went right to it, alleviated the pain. But not only did he alleviate the pain, he went right to the issue that was causing the whole thing.
What I find beneficial is that I have peace of mind because I know if something hurts that Chris can fix it. I have been feeling 100% since I started with him, so it's been a miracle.
Once he gets that body working in tandem again, the muscles all working with each other, it greatly improves the quality of your life. I was walking better, moving better, sleeping better.
So I'm really a believer in the muscle activation technique. It was somewhat of a question mark for me at the beginning, but I wasn't quite a great deal of pain. So you get to the point where you're like, just want some relief, and I got that fairly quickly.
MAT for me is the #1 thing that I can honestly say has saved my life, and Chris, I just can't thank you enough for it. It's been a godsend to me.
Would you recommend it to somebody else that's going through the same problems?
Yes, they really need to try this.
Okay.
So this is highly recommended, and give it a try.
There are a lot of issues that MAT can help resolve, and I greatly encourage everyone, give it a try. It is one of the few treatments I have ever done that you feel results immediately, and it is not painful, and Chris is an absolute joy to work with. You will really enjoy spending time with him.
I would just greatly encourage you that if you're suffering in any area in your body from any type of paralysis or injury to muscles or what have you, seriously consider asking Chris to come over or go wherever he's at and ask him to do one of these therapy sessions that I don't know anybody else can do what Chris does.
For me, it was a no-brainer. I'm all for it. It's just something that you can do it in a short period of time and get results with.
Grab a copy of my book, check that out, read it, internalize that information, and give me a call. I do consultations with people. I review their health history, injury history, then I do those comprehensive evaluations, and then I create a plan and we talk about it. And 99 times out of 100, people are like, "Yeah, this makes perfect sense. I want to do it." So that's how I would recommend. And nonfictionfitness.com is the place they can get that book.
Chris, I admire what you're doing, and I'm sure your clients are appreciative also. I'm sure you can give Chris a call, check out his website. This is really important stuff for you to get to the root of problems.